you're basically showing us a version of a world that has never really been shown on on the mainstream
I
screen.
hope so. It's time.
Isn't it?
Don't you think?
Yes.
I mean, it's my great fortune that I get to be the one who shows it, because it just seems like it's in the air, you know. It feels very timely to me.
And you did it with a great deal of humor. I mean, how important was that this not be a dead serious drama?
Yeah, I thought there's no way. We are not in the era of, all due respect, like gay and lesbian film festivals or whatnot. And I think that there's a place for that. But as a filmmaker who's been developing over the years and has had films in those festivals and has made other films that were more commercial but still stayed in kind of an art house realm, I felt like I don't feel like this is marginal. I feel like this is something that is kind of like universal themes, and there's funny stuff in here, and there's weird, crazy stuff in here, and I want to share it in a way that's accessible and relatable and fun, you know, and pleasurable to watch it.
Now, is the Annette Bening character an alter ego? I mean, is that you?
Just because we have the same glasses.
Almost like she's playing with. I know that this happens. I mean, it's you know the dad, you know, on some level.
No, actually not. You know, I'm sure there's parts of myself in that character and the way that I am, you know, strains of my personality. But the conception of her wasn't, you know, modeled after myself or my partner. I mean, our situation is really different. I'm not the breadwinner in my family.
No, you're not. Not compared to Wendy Mulholland.
No. Well, you know, she works her ass off, but, you know, she's the one who's been making the paycheck while I spent 5 years writing on my own dime.
So we're back to the theme of where we started. I mean, so the only way that this movie could get done was for people to be working for way below their market rates.
Yeah. I mean, you know, it's not the days of high art where we really did ask people to work for free. I mean, it was. I can't do that anymore, and I wouldn't do that. And it's really illegal to do that in LA. So it was unionized and everybody worked, but way under what they deserve to be paid and should be paid.
And how did you finance the movie?
We, you know, we tried to finance it in all the conventional ways, from studios to mini majors to, you know, very prominent independent financing companies, and got close with a lot of people, and I think they were just timid about it in the end. Like, what is it really going to be like? Is it really going to be marketable? And then we came down to getting Cinetic, who's my, you know, the sales agent, and my manager, Bart Walker, to pull together these strange bedfellows, but a company in France, UGC in France, and two companies in the States. One is Gary Gilbert's company and Plum Pictures, and everybody put in their share of the budget, and there ended up being 7,000 producers, because, you know, it was just equity financed, whoever wanted to invest, and got made.
But did it dismay you, as you were pursuing this, that there was so little support for you inside the community? Wasn't that somewhat disturbing, given how much you've accomplished so far? I mean,
it was.
You're not a newcomer. You're established. That script was clearly there.
Yeah, it was vexing, and it was kind of a grueling period, you know, where, I mean, the upshot is that the only recourse I felt like I had was to work that script to the bone and just make sure that, you know, as my girlfriend Wendy would say to me when I would lament that I didn't know if it was any good, she'd just say, keep writing until you break your own heart, you know. Just like if it's resonating with you, then you're on the right track, and keep going.
Are you going to face any backlash from the gay and lesbian community that the Julianne Moore character is having fabulous sex with a man?
No, I think they're going to come out in droves. I think it's going to be a new revelation.
What do you mean?
I just, you know, I really don't subscribe to this idea that sexuality is that static. I mean, it might be for some people, and that's fine. You know, maybe somebody will make a movie about that person. This just happens to be a movie about a person who can who's gay, who's, that's where her heart is, and her emotional composition is gay, or she's fallen in love with whatever that is. But sexually, she's, interested in both genders, and it's not so rigid for her.
And I love the idea that the women were turned on by gay male porn.
And Julie has to explain that to her son.
The kids are great, and I really enjoyed the idea of this very normal family that has to deal with this very unusual setup where Mark Ruffalo plays the father, the sperm donor, and the kid wants to find out. What kind of research had you done about that kind of story, and had you seen stories about this that piqued you?
It was two things. One is there's been a lot of stories about donor kids in the last years. Cover stories in the New York Times, stories on 60 Minutes. I mean, it's just out there. That's, those kids are coming of age. Donor kids. And at the time I started writing the film, my partner and I were trying to get pregnant, and we were talking to friends about helping us, and we were looking into buying sperm, and we were kind of going through the whole thing. So, and I had a lot of friends, who had been on all sides of the equation, getting egg donation and sperm donation, and having, two women having a kid or children with friends that were then became the father, and it was a 3-parent family. And I just felt like, wow, it's a brave new world. There's all these different configurations of families. And in the end, my partner and I decided to get an anonymous sperm donor, and so we have a great, beautiful kid named Calder. But it was like a huge project finding the right donor. It's a weird thing. You don't meet that person. You have to really imagine somebody from a dossier of information.